Welcome back to Brentocast. This is episode 20, live from the lake. Actually, not a live broadcast, a recording, but I am staring at Baden Lake right now from my vehicle as I enjoy my delicious cappuccino. I am really feeling a sense of, a sense of calm and peacefulness this morning. Had an amazing week, was pretty hectic. Did manage the hat trick with Delilah, 3 different Halloween events, and she had an unbelievable Saturday and Sunday. So we really knocked it out on her dressing up and going around trick-or-treating. Actually, as it turns out, it was Thursday and Sunday. Yeah, that was the big days. We did some things. We didn't do anything special Saturday night other than my performance at Loafers and Legends. And oh, that's right. Yeah, she did get to come out to that, and she got to hang out with Ansel Brown's daughter, Sophia, who's about a year younger, but about the same size. And they seem to have a real blast jumping around to the music. So got some very cute footage of them dancing together out there and just having a play session while we performed. But yeah, that is one of the things that I got to do this weekend that was a little different. Ansel, of course, being a solo artist who Harrison and I are producing, writing, and recording an album for, came out and joined us for 5 songs, and then we repeated those 5 sort of at the end of the set. So it was interesting. Always cool being able to do something different and sing backup and all that. I love singing backup. Just lets me focus on my guitar playing a little bit more, and it's fun. Obviously, that part was not as tight as the rest of the show because we haven't had a chance to perform together too much, but I think people were generally appreciative of it. And yeah, it's I don't know, it's just a real pleasure to get to play down at Loafers. And there's always somebody that thinks we're too loud. I'm thinking about maybe trying to do the Christmas program totally acoustic, which means about a third of the people won't hear it at all. But, then maybe at least they'll have a recent point of reference so they understand that, amplification of some kind is needed. But, yeah. Awesome week. Did a lot in the studio this week as well, working on an acoustic version of 2 songs for Ansel. One is called Buttermilk Creek, and it's having all kinds of variations for various marketing jingle type pitches to a couple different companies, and it's just generally a cool country song. And then the other song is sort of a country rocker called Gone, which I'm really pushing in the direction vocally of like a Boston with like layered harmonies. And it's also an alternate version because the acoustic version is completely alternate in that we have a different arrangement, because we initially had started recording the electric version sometime before that and decided when we started playing it live, hey, this part sounds really good with the harmony, we should double that up, and so on and so forth. We end up with an alternate version of it as well. But yeah, it's been a lot of activity in there, and I feel like we're definitely gaining some ground on that record. And then this week, I guess I should be back in the studio on Wednesday working on the keyboards with an organ with David Harper for the last 3 songs in the first round of songs for the V Hill project. And additionally to that, I guess I am I don't guess I know. Ron is commissioning me to turn one of his poems into Ron, of course, Ron V Hill, friend of mine and one of the V Hill brothers, turning one of his poems into a song, and I've already got a pretty solid start on that. The poem is called One More Turn, or one more turn, or something like that. And it just has to do with like an older fellow like himself looking back at his life and basically having no regrets, which is great. So the character in the song starts out with his, here's where I'm at right now. And then it jumps back to when he was a young man and how he looked forward and how he accomplished the things that he needed to accomplish. That's kind of like the pitch of that song. But already pretty happy with where it's going. So, yeah, this week is a special week because I'm coming up on my 53rd birthday on Thursday, and I plan to be in North Myrtle Beach spending that day and weekend, in fact. Plan to head out Wednesday night and, have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday down there. hopefully we're just going to have a great time. It's going to be just us this time, so I won't be tasked with entertaining Delilah, which is always fun but exhausting. And I will be focused on just a few things, like getting some massage therapy done to me, and then also we're going to try to go see that medieval times dinner theater show, which I've wanted to see many years. After seeing Pirates, I'm like, I got to go see that now, because Pirates was great, but I'm more of a medieval guy than I am a pirate guy. So hey, it should be awesome. But that is the plan for this week. And I actually only have one client today, so I think I should have a chance to work on a video for Ansel Brown's song Buttermilk Creek. We're going to go ahead and share some of that with some of the folks he's pitching it to as kind of a jingle, and we wanted to have just a visual to go with it. So I was able to retime our performance of it at Loafers and Legends the other night, just shot on my GoPro with some footage we shot in the studio recording it, and some GoPro footage, and then some additional phone footage, which he shot yesterday. Oh, one thing I failed to mention was this week has been the most spectacular light show as far as the trees go in North Carolina that I have seen maybe in my life. Literally, Mara Mountain, top of Mara Mountain was absolutely freaking perfect. I mean, you could not ask for a more beautiful, bucolic fall setting, and everybody knows that you go up there and the top parking lot is packed, but I've had a chance to go up several times this week. I got some 360 footage. Would have loved to have focused more on photography and getting some HDRIs this year, but it just did not work out. I had Delilah the times that I'd be able to do it, and I think this is actually going to be the optimum weekend that just passed, and I don't know that I'll have another chance to do it. I may try to pop out this afternoon and shoot some things, because the weather is supposed to be fairly nice. It did rain the last couple of days. It's supposed to be thunderstorms today, but right now it's sunny, so I don't know. But if I have a chance, I'm going to pop out and shoot some HDRI to take advantage of this beautiful colors we got right now, because I guess it turned cold faster this year, and the previous years it had just sort of gotten cold gradually, and we just didn't get those bright popping colors. But like some of them, I've just been like, it's literally like glowing, so I've just been amazed by that. Gotta love you a cappuccino. Who doesn't love cappuccino? I haven't met them. Well, today is a fairly light day massage-wise, and I'm told that it had to do with the way the dates fell on the calendar. There was nowhere to write. So that's cool with me, because that lets me ease into this vacation, having had a chance to pack up. As always, I try to plan work to do down there. Like artwork and whatnot, and maybe like planning work for other projects. I like to take a guitar down there, although the Sierra, I'm never going to take my J200, obviously. But if it's just Nancy and I will have room, and I'll probably take my backup guitar or whatever, just to have something and see how that goes. And who knows, I may get inspired to write while I'm down there. Although with those condos, you don't want to be too loud, because, although I will say I don't think that's a problem where we're staying at, because I've heard a lot of loud people down there at various times, and I think people are just generally more laid back at the beach, so they don't tend to get, too excited about a little bit of noise. But, you never know when that's going to change. I have had the police called on me more than once for sometimes even playing acoustically, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. It's like, wait a minute, this acoustic guitar and you're through a wall and 20 yards away is too loud. It reminds me of a time that I was playing a little boombox back in the late 80s at Rock Creek Park, and one of the, I guess, cadre or whatever came up to me and said, "You're going to have to turn that down." I was like, huh? Because it wasn't very loud. He was like, yeah, if you can hear it beyond the length of a picnic table, it's too loud. And that's ludicrous. I'm like, oh, so you're saying we have to have headphones? No, you just can't hear it a little further than the length of the picnic table. Of course, so we turned it down until he walked away and just turned it right back up. That's back when young people tended to respect authority, which is no longer the case, sadly. I did have a chance this week to check out Cabinet Curiosities. What is it? Guillermo del Toro's anthology series on Netflix, Cabinets of Curiosity, something like that. And it's just various spooky tales. I watched the first two, and they were both pretty darn good, so I plan to continue watching that series. And with regards to what else we watched a really scary possession movie. The English name was Hellhole on Netflix, but I believe it has a Spanish name as well. I think it was probably no, it's a Polish film. Yeah. Really scary and top-notch special effects. I would recommend that one if you're looking for something spooky to watch. Although typically, my watch for Halloween is usually Trick or Treat. Of course, this is Halloween. I failed to mention that this is being recorded on Halloween. But Halloween on a Monday, it's bizarre. The town of Albemarle had the downtown Trick or Treat on Thursday. You know, several days back, and then of course there was a lot going on because we're sort of out of the COVID thing now, and people are really wanting to get out. And it seemed like everybody had a fall festival. Every church had a trunk or treat. There was just a ton of stuff to go to. And as a result, some things got a little diluted. Like, for example, one of the things that made the Denton Farm Park experience so great was that there was not a big crowd. Not at all. I would say there might have been 200 people out there in that whole place. So yeah, it was pretty incredible to be able to just walk around and not be, having to duck golf carts and ATVs quite so much, and still had a good time, although I know that wasn't great for the vendors. It was great as a person going in there and experiencing it. Actually made me think I want to start camping out there. That place is awesome, man. And it's also Christian owned and operated, and I can tell that. So that's cool. That's really cool. For a person that grew up with traditional values, that's nice to see for a change, because nowadays it's, the green hairs and purple hairs have taken over. And by that, I mean, not any particular group. It's just that everything has to be lit for everybody. And, you can't really cater to core values anymore, traditional values in America. And that's a little sad, because traditional values got us here as a country. I certainly am not a bigot. I don't hate people, and I absolutely abhor racism in all its forms, and sexism for that matter. But words matter. When you take the definition of words and just rejig what they mean to you, redefine them utterly, then there is no logical conversation. There is no middle ground to have with the person that does that. So that's unfortunate, because, failure to discourse ultimately leads to violence and fascism. And it's funny that lots of people call, using that fascism word these days, don't know the definition of it. They'll literally punch you in your stomach and call you a fascist. And I'm like, I literally saw a lady doing that on Google, punching a guy, screaming fascist, and punching a guy, trying to punch him under his arm while he was holding the sign. And I'm like, does this woman even know the definition of the word fascist? I doubt it, or she's forgotten it, or she's changed it, but don't want to focus on that negativity. Halloween has been great, but just a little bit weird this year in that it didn't fall on a weekend. It fell on a Monday. So there's still people doing trick-or-treating. I saw a guy rolled through Albemarle at 7:50 this morning, saw a guy full on Beetlejuice with the makeup, the suit and all, and had his kid with him who was dressed up like Dracula. And they were both really nice costumes, trick-or-treating at 8 a.m. I'm like, what? That's wild. But one of the things we've been taking Delilah around is going around to these yards that have these animatronics in them. And she says repeatedly, I love it. Let's go again. So, yeah, she's had an amazing time, and I could just totally tell that. If you want to see some of what we got up to with her, you can always stop by BrentBowers.com and look at the weekly vlog page. It should be the first page that loads when you get there, actually. And you will see above the page break the last several weekends. And I try to do them where the last thing we did will always be at the top. So you can see we got into something. And I've actually got a whole other edit to make of GoPro footage. I've tried to make the commitment to start recording her with the GoPro every week, because the phone quality, even though it's technically HD, it's not as good, and I like to get better audio, so I'm trying to make myself use that GoPro more. Yeah. Going to try to do that same thing at the beach. Going to carry the camera this time and try to do some HDRI shooting, which I haven't gotten to do a whole lot of. I was not able to push those last ones to market, but I think they weren't as good as I thought they were until I got them home and edited them. And I'm like, I really need to do some more like full lighting. I was trying to do a lot of diffuse lighting stuff, and it's just more challenging to get the photos just right. I hope to get back to that. Where I sell at Renderosity, they've actually got different requirements now to be considered an active artist, and to be able to market through their various marketing programs, you have to be considered active. It used to be one product in the last 6 months, and now it's at least 6 new products in the last year. So I have to get on that so I can keep marketing, because otherwise you make no money at all. And basically the bulk of, I've got over 130 items there, but it's all stuff I've made in past years, and I want to keep being able to sell it, so I have to kind of get active on that again. My, of course, ambition to release my character at Daz for Halloween did not happen. They threw me all kind of roadblocks, and the guy that I paid to do the work, actually, they had thrown him projects, and he, of course, pushed my project off, so I'm going to miss that altogether. But hopefully, at least, I can still release it as a bundle and still make a profit. We'll see. If I don't make a profit this time, I've decided I'm done marketing through Daz. It's just too difficult. And even though you can make some good money, the chances of making really good money are not great. So, yeah, I don't know. Watching a guy, he just walked down to the pier with his fishing pole, but he left his dog on a leash sitting there, and I think he might have thought the dog was tied. He just kind of walked off when he left him. That's weird. Hopefully he doesn't get into any mischief. But in any case, it's been a very interesting week where lots of cool stuff has transpired. Any week that I get to write, play music, and work in the studio and hang out with Delilah and do epic stuff is always considered a huge success. I did a live broadcast with Delilah last time. I'm thinking one of the things I might try to do is a little talk with Nancy on my podcast to just sort of test the concept of, can we do a podcast together with just me holding my phone and successfully, avoid talking over each other and that sort of thing. The thing I did for episode 20... or episode 19. No, sorry, it was episode 20. I may have called this episode 20. This is episode 21. Gosh, man, what a goof. But anyway, what I did for that was Delilah was just yelling in the background as I swang her, and I literally swang her for the 25 minutes or so of that podcast. So, and that's how it goes on Brentocast. All right, so I hope you guys have a great week.